This episode of Let's Talk Forensic Psychology today, we're going to talk briefly about the forthcoming conference for the Division of Forensic Psychology. Laura's been working really hard on this for a good year and a half. So we're going to be in Solihull the 14th to the 16th of June. We're really fortunate because we've got the conference in a hotel where we've got there'll be just us in the hotel, because often what we find at these conferences is you're talking over coffee about some sexual offence or violent murder or some sort of thing we've just read about or listened to, and then you look over and there's people, general members of the public, that just come in for coffee or just come in for a coach trip, and you think, oh, we have to be careful what we're talking about. So we've often been in that position, haven't we, where we'd like, oh, we've got to go and find somewhere quiet to talk. So I think it's been really exciting to have it all to ourselves and be able to talk to our heart's content about this, and it's excited to be back face to face. It's my last meeting as chair, so that's going to be really sad, and at least I've got to do a conference in face to face while I've been chair of the division. But I'm really looking forward to being able to meet, because it's the spaces in between all the presentations where we chat to people and you develop collaborations and links with people. So we're really looking forward to it. So we've got some excellent keynote speakers. We've got Mary O'Donnell, who's going to be, she's talking about allyship. She works for the prison service and thinking about how we can work together to develop diversity and inclusion. We've got Kieran McCartan, who's always worked really tirelessly to have trauma-informed risk assessment tools, thinking about how people who are released having served sentences for sexual convictions, how they can reintegrate back into society. And he's a regular blogger for ATSA, for the Association for the Treatment of Sexual Abusers. Which incidentally is just changing its title, glad to hear. We've got Kerry Daines, who's a very well-known forensic psychologist. She works with the police in hospitals, prisons and in private practice, and she's written quite extensively about her role as a forensic psychologist. And we've also got Claire Alley. So she works at the University of Salford, and she talks about autism spectrum disorders and neurodiversity. She's really passionate about that, so she's a great speaker too. And do you want to say some of the symposia or some of the workshops we've got coming up, Laura?
Yeah, so we've got 3 really exciting workshops. We've got Dr. Louise Bowers, who is bringing along an expert by experience as well, and they're going to be talking about risk assessment in the courtrooms. And Louise works in private practice as well, so we're very lucky to have such a diverse academia practice and private practice in there. We've got Helen O'Connor, who's working for the prison service, and she's going to be talking about compassion-focused leadership. So this is about her work. She's been working with the workforce and senior management in thinking about how to bring compassion leadership into our roles. And we've also got Dr. Tarek Younis, who is at Middlesex University, and he's going to be talking a lot around his area of specialism, which is around culture, religion, globalization, racism and mental health. It's got a wealth of topics on that area, so we're really looking forward to those 3 workshops, which of course these are invited speakers, but we've got a great program up on the website. So if you do look at the BPS website, the program is now up there with a range of speakers on a wealth of topics. I mean, just to name a few, we've got some things around trauma and the impact that has on our work, staff and service users. We have topics, stretched across mental health settings, private practice settings. We've got things on traumatic brain injuries. We've got more discussions around neurodiversity and the impact that's had on the work.
Stalking. We've got work in Northern Ireland, how things are in following the Troubles and how things are there, and then working with young people in custody, working with EMDR. That's another one we've got coming up, which I'm really looking forward to. An interactive sort of some workshops, several workshops actually. We were really lucky with the quality of the workshops this year, talking about how we interact, and David Glasgow is going to be talking about a case profile for forensic practitioners. So you'll have a takeaway from that of a model to use. We've got people talking about the nature of paraphilic sexual interests, particularly about people who are interested and aroused by people who are asleep. So there's lots of really diverse subjects, and it's always difficult to choose because there's so many interesting subjects to choose from. We've got lots of parole, yeah, as I said, more on parole hearings, how we sit on parole hearings, what we might say, use of pornography, in-cell technology for people in prisons.
We've got lots on COVID-19. I was just skimming through, and the impact that's had on the criminal justice system and just working practices. So that will be something. I mean, and it's always amazing, isn't it, how much I was shocked about how much research people have been able to get done in these last few years, given we've had such restrictions on being together and being able to get research completed in these sort of strange times, really. So that's been amazing to see how much people have been doing, and evaluating services. We've got a real range from prisons to mental health settings. It is really quite a diverse group of speakers coming up, really.
Yeah, and from lots of different countries as well. We're really excited, given that we haven't been face to face for will have been the third year. We've got people coming from all over the world to speak, which is really exciting. We've got a talk on incels, whether this sort of view of men who have views of women, whether it's misogyny or whether they're lonely, and terms that have come to the fore only quite recently, really. Looking at people how they manage stress and in the workplace. It's just a really diverse, anything you're interested in terms of forensic psychology, you'll see it there. Then we have an evening where we have posters, and we have a fantastic event where we celebrate with the people who've been awarded their qualification this year. So the people that have qualified up until April this year in the last year. So that's really nice to celebrate people that have become qualified and become chartered. And also the awards are still open at the moment. So do make sure you put people up for awards, peers that you work with, think about people that you've seen in areas of work and put them forward for awards. But we'll have the awards coming up for that. So we'll be able to present those awards there, which is always a really exciting thing. It's lovely to celebrate together and have a walk around and chat and find out why people got the awards they did.
Yeah, the program's really follows what we usually do, which means that the awards and the posters are on day one. So if you're interested in coming along to that and helping us celebrate with people, there's a really long day on Wednesday, which ends with a gala dinner, which we're having in the hotel this year. We've got a DJ organised and planned, so it's usually, hopefully it'll be nice. It'll be a 3-course meal, and then some hopefully some relaxing and dancing, maybe. And then the Thursdays sort of goes up to about 1:30. But we've got some great speakers on different days. We've tried to group together themes across the days, but obviously go and have a look and see what you're interested in coming down and sharing with us. But the thing we've missed the most, I think, is also those, as you say, Joe, those in-between discussions where you're getting to network and speak to different people in different settings, and that's been so valuable with research collaborations, or just getting to hear other services and what they're doing, and how you can join up and link up with people. So it's going to be really great to see people in person.
Yeah, so you can either come for one of the 3 days, or you can sign up for the full 3 days. You don't obviously have to stay at that hotel. You can stay locally. Lots of people travel, or they stay at Airbnbs locally. So whatever suits you, really. We've managed to fill all our bursaries. So every year we have bursaries that are funded by the DFP. So we managed to fill all of those. So it'd be really good to meet those people. And we hope you'll come along and introduce yourselves and chat to us. Myself and Laura and Kate and Emily will all be there. So do come up and say hello and tell us what you think about the channel and what you'd like to see on it. So it'd be lovely to meet people, because we always read your comments, and it's always nice to know that you've watched and what you like about the content and what you don't like, because we're always really open to feedback.
So this year as well, if you're on the lookout for committee members, we should be having slightly different coloured lanyards around. So do come up and speak to us. We want the committee to be more accessible to the members. So come up, find us, come and talk to us. and we'll be happy to hear about, you know, as a DFP committee, how we can improve and make it better.
And also there'll be opportunities now to apply to come onto the committee, and that will be advertised on the website as well. So do look and see if you're interested in coming onto the committee. And we do this YouTube channel separate from the committee. We just all happen to be on it, but our times will all be coming up at different events. We all went on and came off at different times. So we're sort of, apart from, we are on the committee, but this is a separate initiative really for the four of us. But yeah, but we will chat to people on the committee and just see what the roles include and things that you'd like to see as well for the committee. So that just remains for us to say, let's talk forensic psychology today.